What's up, guys? Alright, last time we left off talking about being an improved worker and what that meant. And to kind of just bounce off of that, 2 Timothy 2 verses 23 to 26. This probably might be a little shorter, maybe, depends how deep I want to get into it, since it's just a few short verses. And really want y'all to get a lot out of this because it's directed towards youth. It's directed towards people that are in their younger ages, their teenage years to young 20s. So, I mean, it is directed towards life and older people as well, but this just can be real applicable to the younger generation. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so it says, "Flee from youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. But reject foolish and ignorant disputes, because you know that they breed quarrels. The Lord's servant must not quarrel, but must be gentle to everyone, able to teach and patient, instructing his opponents with gentleness. Perhaps God will grant them repentance, leading them to the knowledge of the truth. Then they may come to their senses and escape the trap of the devil, who has taken them captive to do his will." So, it just starts right off the bat, just saying, flee from youthful passions. What's that talking about? What are youthful passions? I mean, for me, being a young person, like, you're very tempted to a lot of things. Like, guys are tempted towards girls, girls are tempted towards guys. Youthful passions could be anything. It could be your cell phone, it could be partying, it could be going out and drinking, it could be doing anything, really. Youthful passions are just things you do because you're immature. And it just says that flee from these things, apart from this. And when you're trying to flee somebody chasing you, you're running. You booking it, you going. It says flee from youthful passions. Go away from it, get as far away as possible, as fast as possible. Just go. Don't ask questions, just go. It says, "And pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart." Now, guys and gals, looking for that significant other, listen to this part very carefully. So it says, pursue those who call on the Lord with a pure heart. That's who you look after in a potential spouse, a potential person to spend your future with. Someone who is calling on the Lord with a pure heart. You want to pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. So not only do you want to pursue friendships and relationships that are like this, you want to pursue everything like this. Pursue everything with faith. Pursue everything with love. Pursue everything with peace. Pursue righteousness. And pursue those people that you want in your life who also are pursuing the same thing, that they call on the Lord with a pure heart. That's so important, to surround yourself with people who call on the Lord with a pure heart, because a pure heart is a lot different than a tainted heart. A tainted heart, you have dark, you have despair, you have people that you're gonna bring them down. Your tainted heart, if you surround yourself with people with a tainted heart, you'll get a tainted heart. It's facts, it's true. And it says, "But reject foolish and ignorant disputes, because you know they breed quarrels. And the Lord's servant must not quarrel." So a quarrel is kind of like a fight, an argument, getting into it, beef. Stay away from that beef. Stay away from that. Do not buy into these quarrels. Do not buy into all these ignorant and foolish conversations, the gossip, the bickering, the griping. Just ignore that stuff. Get it? It ain't important. Don't worry about it. It ain't doing anything with your relationship with God. No. You cannot be in a quarrel with somebody and be doing it for the Lord. No. "The Lord's servant must not quarrel, but must be gentle to everyone, able to teach, and patient, instructing his opponents with gentleness." Now, if I'm going to get in a quarrel with anybody, it's going to be my opponent. But it's telling us here, instruct your opponents with gentleness. Because if you're showing your opponent the love of Christ, the love of God, they're going to look at you different. They're not going to look at you as like your opponent anymore. They're going to be like, "Oh, wait a minute. Why is this person being so nice, being so gentle, being so kind?" Like, what is this? What is this? Because you're showing the love of God. You're showing love. You're showing peace. You're doing the work of the Lord here. Perhaps God will grant them repentance, leading them to the knowledge of truth. That's why. Oftentimes, we try to lead people to the Lord and we get into a quarrel with them about it because we don't know how to respond to them when they say, well, what about this? What about this in Christ? You can't physically touch God. He ain't real. And then we get all upset. We all get bent out of shape. But it says right here, instructing his opponents with gentleness, gentle to everyone, able to teach. And if you go through that way, if you show love to this person, perhaps God will grant them repentance, leading them to the knowledge of the truth. But if you're being quarrelsome, you ain't leading nobody to Christ. You're doing the opposite. Then they may come to their senses and escape the trap of the devil who has taken them captive to do his will. What can we learn from this short message? Flee from these youthful desires, first off. Depart from them, leave them, and pursue God. Pursue righteousness, faith, peace, love, and those with a pure heart who call on the Lord. And show love to everybody. Be gentle to everyone. Be kind to everyone, especially your opponents. Because if you want somebody to come to Christ, you have to be of Christ. You have to act like you are following Christ. You can't be quarrelsome. You can't be rude. You can't be disrespectful. You can't lose your temper. You can't be angry. You have to be calm. You have to be gentle, and you have to be loving. So I say this, my friends and followers, or whoever comes across this video, that the love of God is what we have to spread. We have to show people. Christians have a bad rap because we don't flee from these youthful passions, because we don't show gentleness, because we are rude and disrespectful. That doesn't make people want to follow Christ, and that doesn't make Christ happy either. So my challenge to you is to flee from these useful desires, flee from these evil desires, and be gentle, be loving, be kind, and pursue God. See you next time.